This video is for our players that are returning and planning to return to Lanier from the 2023 club season to the 2023-2024 club season. The idea behind this video is to fill y'all in on what we're planning for next season, as well as to explain the new tryout process that is different from last year.
Yeah. So welcome back. We hope that we can get through this and answer any questions that you have. But we'll talk about questions at the end in case we don't cover everything for you.
So here's our contact information if you didn't already have it from this past season. One recommendation we do have is that if you're looking to reach out to Bill or I during the month of June, that you do so either by email or by texting. Those are our cell phone numbers, as we will be in the gym in Orlando at the National Championships with 6 of our teams during most of the month of June. And so it's really hard for us to answer our phone in the loud gym, but we will be on our phones able to text or email response to you.
So a lot of times the question pops up is, what teams will Lanier have next year? This is kind of what we're looking at, so you can see how we're breaking it out again from national, regional to local teams. You can see that we're hoping to have quite a few 13 and 14U teams. Everything here just depends on how many players are coming to tryouts. So we just wanted to give you guys an idea of what next year might look like.
You'll notice that our 18s team is missing off of here. The reason that is we're looking to hear from our potential 18s players about whether they're returning and what they're hoping for in a season. This past year, we did a hybrid season that ended before spring break. And so we're looking to hear from those players as we make our plans for this coming season. So here you see some of our intended coaching roster and our coaching assignments. Please know that these are subject to change as we're finalizing our contracts with our coaches, and that you'll also see some TBD areas where we are having coaches still sign their contracts and filling those holes as everything in the process has sped up from our typical timeline.
Yeah, in years past, we usually weren't having these meetings until maybe September and October. And so this year we're just having to speed up all of our assignments and all of our planning by several months. And so that's why some of the TBDs are still there.
Okay, so what do tryouts look like now? Now they're in July. In case you didn't already know, tryouts are in July. You'll see the dates here on your right, on the right of the screen. Train for tryouts are the 2 nights before tryouts. You'll also notice that tryouts are only 1 day as opposed to 2 days in seasons past. And so just note that 1 day is the only day that your athlete would need to show up. During our train for tryouts, if we need to make offers because we know athletes will be missing tryouts, we also are now permitted to do that. And we may do that in certain situations. We are also allowing a 3-day window to accept offers. The Southern Region policy no longer requires that window, but we think that we want to extend that offer to our families so that you can make the best decision for your athlete. What we do ask is, if you know that you're going to accept your offer, once you get it, if you just go ahead and let us know so that we can continue making plans for the season. So because tryouts are in July, I know many families made their vacation plans, camp plans, and other plans a year ago, and this is a recent change. So we do have a makeup date of July 17th. If you know that you are going to miss tryout dates, if you'll go ahead and let us know ahead of time, go ahead and register your athletes for tryouts like normal, but make sure you indicate that you're choosing the makeup date. And if you're a returning athlete, we potentially can make you the offer ahead of time for a team once we see who shows up at tryouts. Team offers can be made starting now if we wanted to any existing Lanier players. And anybody who hasn't played with Lanier in years past can have offers made to them starting the 7th if they didn't play with us last season. So what do practices look like now, Bill?
So we've kind of broken the season up into 3 parts. Early season, which what we'll consider July through mid-October. There will be 2 mandatory practices a month, and what that means is that once teams are defined and decided upon, we will be collecting that whole team's schedule to try to find the best time throughout the entire month to schedule the practice. And so we will pick that so that as many and all of you can attend. And again, it's only 2 times a month because we want to be able to work around your middle school and your high school schedules. It is very important to us that you guys still, if you choose, to play high school and middle school ball. It is important that you guys are doing that. We don't want to take away from that at all. There will also be additional skill and performance training available throughout the early season. The performance training will be additional options for you through a trainer who is going to be there to help increase vertical, help eliminate injuries. So those will all be available to you guys, and more information on all that will be coming out soon. Our regular season will be what you guys are most familiar with. That's mid-October through April. We will continue to have 1 to 2 team practices a week, 1 master practice a week, 6 to 8 scrimmages. That is where it'll look a little different this year. Scrimmages will probably run from December through February, and then when we hit March and April, we will start to sub out the scrimmage days for a second team practice. And again, you will not have a team practice or a scrimmage on a Friday when you would have a tournament that weekend. And then again, there will be additional performance training available. And then we will have the AAU National Extended Season again from May to June. And so if your player is going to be looking at AAU Nationals, it does now look like a 12-month season. And when you get into the May-June, it is 2 team practices a week with additional performance training still available to your player.
So here are the updated costs for 2023-24 season. You'll see that the total cost is on the far right column. The amount due at commitment night is listed just past the team level, and then the payments are in the middle. Some things to note, and we'll talk about in a minute why the costs have gone up, but some things to note are that now we're on a seven-month payment schedule instead of that short 3 or 4 month payment schedule before. So your monthly payments are going to be a lot less impactful on your household budget, if you will. You'll also notice that the required uniform package, which we'll talk about in a minute, is an additional $300 or less. We're nailing down those final details, and we'll have them ready by tryout time. And that you should also know that just like in seasons past, the national extended season is optional. It's not required for our national team members. We highly recommend it, but that it should be budgeted at an additional $800 or $900.
So why did prices go up this year? What's really important to note is that due to it now being a 10 to 12 month season, we had approximately 95 practice hours this current season that we just wrapped up, but next season we're going to be up to 140 practice hours just by having all those additional opportunities to be in the gym.
And getting to start in mid-October.
Yeah, so that's a big factor in prices going up. Also, as we all have experienced over the past 1 to 2 years, inflation has been going continuously up, and that affects our travel costs from housing and parking and gas, as well as the inflation of general business expenses from our gym rentals and the utilities that we have to pay to use the gyms.
So what is the uniform package? We are branching away from using Nike for a couple of reasons, and we're happy to share those here during this short video. But the new uniform package will be required for all team members, returning or new. It should cost $300 or less. We are switching to Wren Athletics, which is a fantastic volleyball-centric company. Athletes will continue to have 3 long-sleeve jerseys like in years past, 2 spandex, a sweatshirt or a pullover, a sweatpant or jogger, and a backpack will be included now in the uniform package. The exciting things about these jerseys and the spandex is that all of this, Wren sources all of its materials from the same supplier as Lululemon, so they're highly durable fabrics. The other great thing is these are all going to be sublimated jerseys. And so the designs of our jerseys are going to be unique to Lanier. They're no longer off the rack, but instead they're uniquely designed to us, and they're sublimated so that design is within the fabric. So we're no longer going to be dealing with, excuse me, we're no longer going to be dealing with peeling and cracking and yellowing of the designs on the jerseys.
All right, at the bottom you can also see that this year we will have 3 Lanier shirts. They will include 2 short sleeve shirts and the long sleeve warm up. So what tournaments are we planning to go to this year? Again, for our national teams, it's 8 to 10 tournaments, including Little Big South, an out-of-state tournament in Tennessee, and another out-of-state in either Florida or South Carolina, as well as the option for AAU national championships. Again, that's strongly recommended for our national team members. Our regional teams will go to 6 to 7 tournaments, including one of the out of state tournaments to either Tennessee, Florida, or South Carolina, and one or two of our Lanier hosted tournaments here in Gainesville. And they will finish with the SRVA Regional Championships down in Atlanta. And they will also be offered the opportunity to do nationals down in Orlando. And our local teams will have 5 to 6 tournaments. Of those, 1 to 2 will be Lanier hosted tournaments here in Gainesville. And they will also finish with regional championships down in Atlanta.
You'll notice that we don't have specific tournaments listed outside of a few, and that is because we are still waiting on tournament hosts to publish their tournament schedules for the year because they are also on an increased timeline with us having tryouts in July. How do you register for tryouts? You do it like normal on our website. Early bird ends June 2nd. Regular registration ends July 7th, and everything after that is walk up. You'll also want to go ahead and register for Train for Tryouts if that is something you're coming to. We do highly recommend it as always, and the nights do differ in content like they have in years past. Because this video is geared towards our families that are already returning from this past season, all of you have current SRVA memberships, and your membership is good for tryouts. So you do not have to buy a trout membership for this trout in July. You will simply purchase a full membership in September 1st or after when it opens. You'll want to go ahead and download, fill out, and print your athlete's medical release form, which is available on our website and on the Southern Region website, and then print both of those and bring both the membership card and the medical release form with you. You can also bring a screenshot or show us a screenshot of your membership card so that we can see it. It also helps because we know that our athletes all that are returning all have membership cards, so that should be an easy portion for you. And then the last thing is to make sure that you attend the correct age group for tryouts, which those dates are listed on our website for your reference. With that, we will be happy to answer any questions that you have that come up between now and tryouts. Again, please know that Bill and I will be at the national championships, so text or email is going to be best. Feel free to call us, but we're going to be at a loud gym most of June. So it'll be a little bit hard to answer some of those questions for you by phone call in a timely manner. But we are happy to answer questions and be available to you for anything you might need. If you use the info@Lanier Volleyball email address, that one will come both to me, Bill, and Melinda. So you may get a quicker response using that versus just Bill or myself. And with that, we are really thankful for y'all for being Lanier family members, for returning for this coming season, and we're excited to see you in the gym all very soon.
Yeah, see y'all in July.